In this edition of UTA Spotlight, we take a look at some recent developments and an announcement coming out of Austin that affects all UT system schools.
And we take a look at how the upcoming class of 2023 are preparing for graduation.
We will also talk about spending Valentine's with your closest friends. UTA Spotlight starts now.
Welcome to UTA Spotlight, where we tell you what's going on at UT Arlington. I'm Melissa Dela Cruz.
And I am Ward Sakik. Thank you for joining us. Texas government officials have put a pause on further development in regard to the UT system diversity, equity, and inclusions regulation.
The pause of DEI regulation announcement came during a Board of Regents meeting in Austin from Chairman Kevin Eltief. The pause was put in place after Governor Abbott's Chief of Staff, Gardner Pate, expressed concern in a February 4th memo stating, "When a state agency adjusts its employment practices based on factors other than merit, it's not following the law."
Everyone supports expanding our universities so that every Texan can study here and that our universities and our state agencies should look like Texas. What they do not support is being required to sign off on an ideology.
The UT system is conducting a report examining the DEI practices across all 13 schools. Students at UTA had many different opinions about the pause on DEI and what it could mean for the university's student population and future.
I think diversity is super important, whether you're in the workforce or in school, because you have minorities out there that are already getting mistreated, and the workplace, by taking that out, that's just going to make our situation even worse.
Well, I think the DEI is really important, especially as we're such a diverse campus, and, these types of things should be addressed and shouldn't be in the jurisdiction of, two people, but we'll see how it goes, and, the times are always changing, and so we'll see what happens.
While many students question if it would create any kind of positive impact, others fully support the measure.
I think everything should be based on merit. There are a lot of immigrants that work very hard, and it's all based on merit, and not just because I'm Latino or whatever color you may be, your background. I think it should be based on merit, because that frankly does it makes it colorblind and makes it more fair. At the end of the day.
Joe Carpenter, the Chief Communications Officer, on the behalf of the university said, the university is pausing the implementation of any new DEI policies. The university's existing policies, programs, and practices remain unaffected by this guidance.
Our reporter Ron Everett was with a fellow student journalist, braved the cold weather to spread awareness about student press freedom. The story has more.
Even though the day started off cold and windy, individuals a part of student media still showed up to represent their organizations for Student Press Freedom Day.
It's Student Press Freedom Day, and that's a day when the Student Press Law Center is asking college student media entities to kind of get together and just inform their communities about freedom of the press.
The day also gave student journalists a chance to share why freedom of the press is important to them.
Well, it means a lot to me that we're able to celebrate student press freedom. Just the ability to be able to publish what's important to us here at college is just really important to me.
Good afternoon, I'm David Rayo. Welcome back to UTA Radio News.
Even though freedom of the press is the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, there have been many instances of censorship.
Freedom of the press, that's a core pillar of democracy, freedom of the press, and that should apply to student media as well. There are many instances of campuses around this country where student media has been restricted from reporting what's going on in their areas.
28 degrees, and then we'll also take a look at this other side here. We got towards Saturday and
A large number of individuals that belong to Gen Z believe that news is unimportant. A large portion of that number are college students.
Student media is important because a lot of other publications out there, especially professional publications, they don't really get to cover the inside of a college campus. So really our job is to kind of cover this mini city within the campus.
The slogan for this year's Student Press Freedom Day was bold journalism, brave advocacy. UTA News, Ron Everett.
Ready, camera one with a one shot.
That was an interesting story, and it was really cool to see the different studios and control rooms.
UTA held a special event for all 2023 graduates looking for information on graduation and future career planning. Destination Graduation welcomes students from all departments to take part in an afternoon of resources available ahead and after graduation. Faculty was also there to discuss helpful information ahead of each graduating student's biggest day. The event included complimentary pizza and drinks, as well as fun games and even raffles where students had the opportunity to win cool prizes.
I'm here speaking about their resources and their promotions and where other UTA students have gone after graduation, I think is pretty pivotal for students to know, where they can eventually go in terms of their graduation.
Congratulations to the future Maverick alumni. It's great to see opportunities presented for all students no matter where you are in your UTA journey. I'll catch you on the big stage May 12th. When we come back, we will catch up on the men's basketball as they make their way to the WAC tournament.
And we will also discover how Galentines can create a closer bond.
COVID-19 has changed how we show up and show out with our family. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to talking smack with a side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions. Should I get it? Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Hey Mavericks, let's talk about sports. Welcome back to UTA Sports. I'm Angel Castro. We'll go see some impressive games to break down. UTA males basketball was home this week for Inter head coach Rose Johnson home debut. Chances Lucho was on the scene.
Interim head coach Johnson was looking to make a major statement in his home debut. Unfortunately for UTA fans, the first half was littered with turnovers and a hesitant team. The inconsistent first half with turnovers and inconsistent play on the offensive field, especially from three-point, starting 1 for 9 from the three-point line, and missing free throws put the Mavericks in a 12-point hole at the half.
I thought in the first half was the first time in 3 games to where I saw guys kind of hesitant, and then they shot it. You know, they was hesitant and then shot the ball.
In the second half, the Mavs started to come to life and make their shots. They also only committed 5 turnovers the rest of the way. The Mavs' next home game is Saturday for senior night, as it's the last home game of the season before the WAC tournament.
I thought at times we went on runs, and then on defense, you just have a mental collapse, like foul a shooter on the three-point line or something, or give up a big play. You just have to stay poised when we make those runs to be able to collect stops.
This is James Luttrell, UTA News.
This is an unfortunate result, and hopefully the Mavs can bounce back together through the WAC tournament. Back to you guys.
Delta Zeta Sorority Iota Psi chapter hosted a Galentine's Day celebration for their members. Members of Delta Zeta met at the sorority house for games and bonding activities. The unofficial holiday known as Galentine's Day was celebrated during an episode of the show Parks and Recreation in 2010. The holiday celebrates female friendships. Women bring together their closest girlfriends and celebrate any way they see fit. Events like these help the sisterhood de-stress and bond in the middle of midterm season.
It is such a big commuter school. It's really hard to make friends, especially being a freshman during COVID. That was also a huge part of it. You can't really make friends over Zoom calls, and everyone's scared to do anything because of restrictions and stuff, so I joined.
There are 26 fraternities and sororities at UTA. If you're looking into joining in on the fun, FSL has a continuous open bidding throughout the semester. All you need to do is reach out to start the process.
That's all we have for today on this edition of UTA Spotlight.
To stay up to date with us, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and at UTA News. I'm Melissa Dela Cruz.
And I am Ward Sakik. Thank you so much for joining us.